Seattle Storm versus Las Vegas Aces. The Seattle Storm, 16-14, 14-16 ATS, head to Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada on Friday night to square off against the Las Vegas Aces, 15-14, 14-15 ATS in the Western Conference Showdown. Seattle and Las Vegas wrap up their 4-game regular season series. The Storm are 2-1 straight up and against the spread against the Aces in 2025. The last time they met, Seattle beat Las Vegas 90-83 as a 3-point road dog on June 20th, and the game went over the 160.5 line. That win showcased Seattle's offensive versatility and ability to execute in clutch moments, while exposing some defensive vulnerabilities in the Aces' half-court sets. The Seattle Storm will try to snap a 3-game losing streak when they visit the Aces on Friday night. They just finished a 3-game homestand with a 0-3 against the spread record. During that stretch, the Storm have lost to the Los Angeles Sparks 108-106 in double overtime, the Indiana Fever 78-74, and the Minnesota Lynx 91-87. Last Tuesday, the Storm lost a tight battle against the Lynx, blowing an 8-point lead from halftime. Seattle shot 49.3% from the field, 9 for 27 from downtown, while posting a 25-15 assist-to-turnover ratio, but the Lynx out-rebounded the Storm 34-24 to make a difference. Nneka Ogwumike led the way for Seattle with 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, while Erica Wheeler had 19 points and 4 dimes. Jewel Lloyd also chipped in 15 points despite struggling from the field, while Skylar Diggins-Smith added 11 points and 7 assists, continuing to provide steady playmaking. Seattle's recent losses have been close contests, but their inability to close out games late remains a concern as they prepare to face one of the Women's National Basketball Association's most efficient offensive teams. The Storm are now tied with the Aces for the number 1 spot, 6 seed. Seattle ranks 9th in the WNBA in adjusted offensive efficiency, 103.2 points per 100 possessions, and 2nd in adjusted defensive efficiency, 100.1. Ogwumike is their leading scorer with 18.2 points per game, and she's surpassed the 20-point mark in 5 of her last 8 appearances. Her consistency on offense has helped Seattle stay competitive even when their shooting as a team dips. Defensively, the Storm have been one of the toughest teams to break down, particularly in half-court sets, which could be key against a Las Vegas team that thrives on pace. The Las Vegas Aces have won 4 of their previous 5 games, after a couple of road wins over the Dallas Wings, 106-80. And the Los Angeles Sparks 89-74, and the embarrassing 111-58 home loss to the Minnesota Lynx. The Aces rebounded by sweeping a home-and-home set against the Golden State Valkyries, winning 101-77 and 78-72. While the offense has looked explosive at times, defensive lapses have been a problem, especially against top-tier competition. This matchup could come down to tempo control. If Seattle slows the game down and forces the Aces into tough looks, their defensive edge might carry them. However, if Las Vegas dictates the pace, their offensive firepower could overwhelm even a strong Seattle defense. Last Wednesday, the Aces outlasted the Valkyries 78-72 as 5.5-point road favorites. Las Vegas held Golden State to 39.7% shooting from the field, while making 45.0% of its field goals. Aja Wilson tortured the Valkyries for 27 points and 7 rebounds, and Jackie Young added 14 points, 4 boards, and 5 assists. The Aces' defensive intensity was key, especially in the second half where they tightened up rotations and forced tough shots. Wilson leads the way for the Aces with 21.5 points and 9.1 rebounds per game. She's double-doubled in 3 of her previous 5 games and continues to anchor both ends of the floor with her elite presence in the paint. Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum provide additional scoring and playmaking, giving Las Vegas one of the most dynamic starting lineups in the league. The Aces score 104.4 points per 100 possessions, 7th in the league, and surrender 106.1 points in return, 9th, showing the need for better defensive consistency as they look to climb the standings in the second half of the season. The under has hit in 5 of the last 7 matchups between the Seattle Storm and the Las Vegas Aces, but recent head-to-head trends suggest that the tide may be turning. 2 of the last 3 meetings have gone over the total, including their most recent showdown, where the teams combined for 173 points. With both squads featuring high-octane scoring threats and trending toward offensive-minded play in recent weeks, another high-scoring affair could be on tap. That recent total of 173 wasn't an anomaly driven by overtime or garbage time scoring either. Both teams traded blows in regulation, with neither showing sustained defensive resistance. The books are adjusting, but it may not be fast enough, especially if both teams lean into pace and shot volume. Seattle's defense has regressed significantly of late. Over their last 4 games, the Storm have surrendered 85 or more points in 3 contests. That's well above their season average, suggesting either defensive fatigue or an inability to adjust to offensive versatility from recent opponents. That's a red flag when facing the Aces, a team that can exploit mismatches in multiple ways, with post-ups, cuts, transition buckets, and elite three-point shooting when they're clicking. Las Vegas remains one of the WNBA's premier scoring outfits, and while their overall record isn't as dominant this season, they are still more than capable of dropping 90-plus points on any given night. However, Las Vegas isn't invincible, particularly on the defensive end. The Aces have shown cracks all season, particularly in transition and when defending dribble penetration. They've allowed 83.1 points per game, ranking just 9th in the WNBA in scoring defense, a surprising drop-off from last season's elite status. Their defensive rotations have been inconsistent, and opponents are shooting 44% from the field against them, which is among the worst marks in the league. Combine that with a 34.4% opponent three-point percentage, 9th in the league, and it's clear that Las Vegas is vulnerable to perimeter-oriented teams with slashers and kick-out threats. That plays directly into Seattle's hands, as the Storm have shown improved ball movement and wing scoring capabilities in recent games. One key aspect to watch is pace. Neither Seattle nor Las Vegas prefers to slow things down. The Aces love to run when the opportunity presents itself, and Seattle, while not as aggressive in the open floor, is still willing to push tempo and attack early in the shot clock. When both teams push the pace and play through their stars, it leads to quicker possessions and more scoring chances, favoring the over in tempo and total. The last time Seattle visited Las Vegas, they clawed back from an 11-point deficit with physicality and interior scoring, outscoring the Aces 38-28 in the paint. That ability to score inside, especially against a Las Vegas team that's been inconsistent defensively in the paint, gives the Storm a repeatable path to offensive success. However, they still had major issues containing A'ja Wilson, who put together a dominant 20-point, 14-rebound double-double. Her presence in the paint not only anchored the Aces' scoring efforts, but also stifled several of Seattle's second-chance opportunities. If the Storm can't find an answer for Wilson, it could be another long night down low. Rebounding remains a major area of concern for Seattle. They rank dead last in offensive rebound percentage and just 8th in defensive rebound percentage. That's a dangerous combination against an Aces squad that thrives on creating extra possessions, particularly when Wilson is crashing the glass. Expect Las Vegas to attack the boards relentlessly, especially when Seattle rolls out smaller lineups or fails to box out consistently. That lack of rebounding prowess by the Storm only enhances Wilson's value in this matchup. not just in scoring, but in controlling the tempo through second-chance points and outlet passes that ignite transition. If you're diving into player props, A'ja Wilson remains a marquee name to target. Her ability to dominate both ends of the floor while logging heavy minutes makes her an appealing pick for points, rebounds, or even double-double props. Wilson's recent form, matchup advantages, and heavy usage should all be considered when handicapping individual performances. But don't overlook Jackie Young either. The guard has quietly been one of the Aces' most consistent clutch performers, especially when Chelsea Gray has been off the floor. Young's late-game shot-making and steady presence could be the X factor if this one goes down to the wire. Ultimately, this contest shapes up as a tightly contested battle with playoff-like intensity. Seattle, while struggling lately, remains dangerous and well-coached, capable of bouncing back and pushing elite teams. But the Aces have the edge in star power, rebounding, and interior presence, all crucial ingredients in close games. With Wilson anchoring the front court and players like Young and Kelsey Plum stepping up on the perimeter, Las Vegas should be able to outlast the Storm late. Look for this one to remain competitive for all 40 minutes, but in the end, expect the Aces to make the necessary plays to come away with the win and possibly cover, especially if the line moves favorably. If you're betting totals, the over deserves strong consideration based on pace, recent trends, and defensive inconsistencies on both sides. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Las Vegas Aces minus 1.5. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Washington Mystics versus Minnesota Lynx. It's a big-time WNBA matchup between two top teams on Friday, August 8, with postseason implications looming large. The Mystics are 13-16 this year and sit just one game back of a playoff spot, making each contest down the stretch critical. They'll need to bounce back quickly as they've dropped 6 of their last 8 games, struggling with consistency and health. Meanwhile, the Lynx are 25-5 and have the best record in the league, looking every bit like a championship contender. They've won 7 of their last 8 games, too, riding a wave of momentum thanks to dominant performances on both ends of the court. Washington is 13-16 overall this season and currently sits in 10th place in the WNBA standings, trailing first-place Minnesota by 11.5 games. While the Mystics are far from contention for the top spot, they remain in the playoff hunt and are just one game behind the Golden State Valkyries for the 8th and final postseason seed. Their road performance has been a concern, however, as Washington holds a disappointing 4-10 record in away games. The team has also struggled with consistency in recent weeks, dropping 6 of their last 8 games entering Friday's matchup. They have split their season series with Minnesota so far, going 1-1. Their victory came in late June when they held off the Lynx for a gritty 68-64 win. In their most recent outing, the Mystics suffered a 78-64 road loss to the Chicago Sky on Tuesday, August 5th, in a game where they struggled to find offensive rhythm. Brittany Sykes continues to lead the team in scoring and playmaking, averaging 15.4 points and 4.4 assists per game, showcasing her ability to create offense both on and off the ball. Kiki Iriafen has been a key contributor in the paint, leading the team with 8.2 rebounds per game while adding energy and hustle on both ends of the floor. As the regular season winds down, Washington will need both players to elevate their games if the Mystics hope to secure a postseason berth. Washington is averaging 78.3 points per game, which ranks 10th in the league, reflecting some offensive struggles throughout the season. They are the 8th-ranked shooting team, making 43.4% from the field, showing efficiency in spurts but lacking consistency. The Mystics are hitting 32.2% from behind the three-point line, which places them 10th, indicating room for improvement from long range. Despite these middling rankings, the team has shown flashes of potential and continues to look for ways to elevate their scoring output and overall shooting efficiency as the season progresses. On defense, the Mystics are allowing 80.6 points per game, which ranks 6th in the league. They are the 8th-ranked defense in terms of opponent field goal percentage, allowing teams to shoot 43.5% from the floor. However, where they've truly stood out is defending the perimeter. Washington is the second-best three-point defensive team, holding opponents to just 31% from beyond the arc. That stingy perimeter defense has helped them stay competitive, even in games where their offense has been inconsistent. Against the spread, Washington has been a mixed bag. They are 13-16 ATS on the season, including a 6-8 record when playing on the road. As underdogs, they've been slightly more reliable, going 9-8 against the spread. Totals-wise, the under has hit in 16 of their 29 games, 16-12 and 1 overall, showing the impact of their slower pace and strong defensive play. On the road, the under has gone 8-6. That trend may continue on Friday, especially considering injuries. Both J.C. Sheldon and Georgia Amour are officially ruled out, limiting Washington's backcourt depth and scoring options. Their absence could force the Mystics to rely more heavily on half-court sets and defense, making another low-scoring affair a real possibility. Minnesota is 25-5 this year. They have the best record in the sport as they are 5.5 games ahead of the Liberty for the top spot. The Lynx have a 15-1 record when playing at home. They have won 3 straight games. They have also won 7 of their last 8 outings. The Lynx are 1-1 against the Mystics. Minnesota has not lost multiple games against opposing team this year. In their last game, the Lynx defeated Seattle 91-87 on the road on Tuesday, August. Napheesa Collier leads the team with 23.5 points and 7.5 rebounds per game. Collier is injured and will miss the game. Kayla McBride becomes the leading scorer with 14.8 points per game. Courtney Williams is passing for a team-high 6.4 assists per game. Minnesota enters this matchup as the most complete team in the WNBA, excelling on both ends of the floor and showcasing elite consistency throughout the season. The Lynx are averaging a league-best 87.3 points per game, a mark that underscores just how lethal they've been offensively. They've established themselves as a high-efficiency machine, shooting a WNBA-leading 46.9% from the field and a blistering 36.8% from beyond the arc. These numbers aren't inflated by a soft schedule. They've come against top-tier competition, including multiple playoff-bound opponents. Whether it's spacing, ball movement, or simply shot-making, Minnesota is setting the offensive pace for the rest of the league. Defensively, the Lynx are elite, allowing a league-best 75.8 points per game. They rank second in opponent field goal percentage, allowing just 41.7%, and are also the third-best team at defending the three-point line, giving up only 31.1% from deep. Their ability to close out on shooters, switch defensively, and communicate in help situations has been the foundation of their lockdown defense. This two-way dominance is rare, and it's a major reason why Minnesota has created a 5.5-game cushion atop the standings. Against the spread, the Lynx have been one of the most profitable teams for bettors all season. They're 18-11-1 ATS overall, including an impressive 10-5-1 record when playing at home. Even more telling is their dominance as a double-digit favorite. In that scenario, they've covered 11 out of 16 times. That kind of performance against the number shows that not only are they winning games, but they're also exceeding market expectations consistently. The over has hit in 17 of their 30 games this season, but at home, totals are split evenly at 8-8, a sign that totals often depend on matchup and game flow rather than being consistently high or low scoring. That said, this matchup brings a few wrinkles. Star forward Napheesa Collier, who's been the engine for much of Minnesota's success this season, will miss this contest due to an ankle injury. Her absence certainly lowers Minnesota's ceiling on both ends. She's not only their leading scorer and top defender, but also the team's emotional leader. However, the Lynx have shown resiliency without her in the lineup, going deep into their rotation and still getting strong production from their supporting cast. Jessica Shepard, listed as probable, could see increased minutes in Collier's absence, adding rebounding and playmaking from the forward position. Pace will be a major storyline in this game. Minnesota plays at the third slowest tempo in the league, and their methodical offensive sets often chew through the shot clock. That tempo slows down total possessions and leads to lower scoring games, especially when facing another team that prefers half-court basketball. Washington ranks 7th in pace and is not a transition-heavy squad either. As a result, possessions are likely to be limited, and each offensive set will carry added weight. That's why the under is drawing attention here. While the Lynx can score in bunches, the absence of Collier combined with both teams' slow pace sets the stage for a potential under, particularly if either team struggles from beyond the arc. Minnesota's dominance this season cannot be overstated. They've won 15 of 16 games at home, making Target Center one of the toughest places to play in the WNBA. This dominance isn't a fluke. It's rooted in discipline, execution, and depth. Even without Collier, the Lynx have not faltered in recent games. Their offensive efficiency hasn't cratered, largely because players like Kayla McBride and Courtney Williams have stepped up, delivering strong scoring efforts and maintaining the team's ball movement. Head coach Cheryl Reeves' rotations have also been on point, keeping the team sharp and competitive even with personnel changes. The Mystics, meanwhile, have struggled to find consistency. They're just 6-8 against the spread on the road and have dropped 6 of their last 8 games overall. While they're capable of strong defensive efforts, especially when shots aren't falling for the opposition, they don't bring the same firepower as Minnesota. Injuries and inconsistent guard play have hurt Washington's ability to compete with top-tier teams. They may hang tough for stretches in this game, especially given Minnesota's injury issues. But over 4 quarters, the disparity in execution and depth is likely to become evident. Minnesota's profile as both the top scoring and defending team in the league, even with some attrition, is enough to expect another win and cover here. The Lynx are 11-5 against the spread as double-digit favorites, and that trend should hold against a Mystics team that's under .500 against the spread on the road. If Minnesota's supporting cast continues to produce, and if Shepard is available to contribute meaningful minutes, expect the Lynx to pull away in the second half. From a betting perspective, this is a game where Minnesota still holds value on the spread, and the under should be considered based on tempo and Collier's absence. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Minnesota Lynx -10. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.